You earn a modest paycheck, maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a month, and when bills, rent, and groceries are done, there's barely anything left. And then you hear experts say, invest early, let compounding make you rich. And you think, how can I possibly invest when I don't even have much left to save? But here's the truth. You don't need a six-figure salary for compounding to change your life. What you need is the right mindset, small, consistent actions, and the patience to let time do its magic. Stay with me till the end, because I'll show you how, even on a small salary, you can make compounding work in your favor, and why most people never see its power because they quit too early. Don't miss the powerful conclusion in the end. If success is your goal and you're ready to level up, make sure you subscribe. Every video is crafted to move you closer to the life you deserve. Let's get started. Number 1. The myth of "I need more money to start." The first barrier that stops most people from building wealth is a lie. They think compounding only works for the rich. But here's a fact. If you invest just $150 per month in an S&P 500 index fund with an average annual return of 10%, in 40 years you'd have nearly $950,000. That's not from a six-figure salary, but from setting aside just 5 fives a day. Think about that for a second. Most people casually spend 5 fives daily on coffee, snacks, or subscriptions they barely use. They don't realize that those small amounts, redirected into a dividend-paying ETF or index fund, can quietly turn into a $1 million retirement portfolio. The wealthy understand something the middle class often ignores. Compounding doesn't care how much you start with. It only cares about consistency and time. So here's the challenge. Don't ask, "How much can I invest?" Ask instead, "What small, unnecessary expense can I redirect toward compounding today?" Because if you wait until you earn more, you'll never start. Number 2. The snowball effect of small contributions. Think of your investments as a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's tiny. You push, and it feels like nothing's happening. But as it rolls, it picks up snow, grows larger, and eventually becomes unstoppable. That's how compounding works, especially for someone on a small salary. Let's say you only invest $50 a month into a dividend-paying ETF. In the first year, your dividends may barely cover a pizza delivery, maybe $20 total. Most people laugh at this stage and quit. But if you keep going, reinvest every dividend, and stay consistent, magic happens. By year 10, your portfolio could cross $10,000. By year 20, it could be worth more than $40,000. By year 30, it might exceed $130,000, all from $50 monthly investments. And that doesn't include the extra contributions you may be able to add as your income grows. The wealthy understand that wealth is built in layers, not overnight. They embrace the snowball, knowing that slow beginnings eventually create massive results. Next time you feel like your contribution is too small, remind yourself, every avalanche begins with a single snowflake. Number 3. Assets over lifestyle, the rich person's secret. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Even on small salaries, many people stay broke not because of income, but because of wrong priorities. They choose lifestyle over assets. Take this example. Someone earning $2,500 a month buys a $1,000 new phone every year. That's nearly half a month's salary spent on something that loses value instantly. But if they invested that same $1,000 in Apple stock back in 2003, today it would be worth over $150,000. Wealthy people, even those who started poor, understand this critical choice. They buy assets first: dividend stocks, index funds, rental properties. These don't flash on Instagram, but they quietly grow equity and generate cash flow. So here's the question you must ask yourself. Do I want to look rich today, or actually be free tomorrow? Because every $1,000 you spend on lifestyle could have been $150,000 for your future self. Number 4. Automate your compounding machine. When you live on a small salary, discipline is not enough. Because at the end of the month, there will always be reasons not to invest: unexpected bills, family demands, or just the temptation to spend. That's why wealthy people use a powerful system: automation. Here's how it works. Set up an automatic transfer that moves 5–10% of your paycheck directly into your investment account the day you get paid. That way, you invest first and live on what's left. Even if it's just $50 or $100 per month, Automation ensures consistency, and consistency is the oxygen of compounding. Think of it like planting seeds. If you plant a seed every month, over the years you'll have a forest. But if you wait until you feel ready to plant, you'll look back 10 years later with an empty field. Automation removes emotion, builds discipline, and keeps your compounding machine running even when life gets chaotic. So don't rely on willpower. Build systems that make investing automatic, because systems grow wealth while emotions destroy it. Number 5. The hidden power of patience. Here's why most people fail at compounding. It feels too slow in the beginning. You invest for 5 years and see only a few $1,000s. So you get frustrated, cash out, or chase quick wins in risky stock trading platforms or crypto hype. But patience is where the wealthy win. Compounding is like bamboo. For the first few years, nothing seems to grow. Then suddenly, it shoots up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. If you invest $200 per month in an index fund averaging 10% returns, in 10 years, you'll have $38,000. Not life-changing, but keep going, and by year 30, that same habit turns into nearly $395,000. By year 40, it crosses $1 million. The wealthy don't fall for short-term dopamine hits. They don't sell too early or panic during bear markets. They understand that compounding takes time, and the magic only reveals itself decades later. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's a millionaire's weapon. Number 6. Reinvest everything. Dividends are fuel. When you're building wealth on a small salary, every dollar counts. That's why wealthy investors reinvest every dividend they receive. Imagine you own dividend stocks that pay you $100 this year. You could spend it on a dinner out, or you could reinvest it. That reinvested $100 grows, earns its own dividends, and compounds alongside your original investment. Here's the math. If you invest $200 a month into dividend-paying ETFs and reinvest all dividends at 10% annual growth, you'll have around $1.2 million in 40 years. If you spend the dividends instead of reinvesting, you'd end up with far less. This is why wealthy people live below their means even when they have passive income. They treat dividends not as extra spending money, but as fuel for their compounding engine. So if you ever receive a dividend payout, resist the urge to cash out. Reinvest it. Because every reinvested dollar becomes a worker that earns you money forever. Wealth is built not by consuming rewards, but by reinvesting them until the rewards can cover your entire lifestyle. Number 7. Build invisible income streams. Even with a modest paycheck, you can build income streams that pay you while you sleep. And the wealthiest people always focus on invisible income. Here's the power. If you invest just $5,000 over a few years into high-yield dividend stocks paying 4% annually, you'd earn $200 a year in dividends. That may sound small, but reinvest it, add small monthly contributions, and in 20 years it can become thousands in annual passive income. Most people chase flashy side hustles or risky trading to make quick cash. The wealthy prefer boring, invisible streams that grow steadily and predictably. The goal isn't to replace your salary overnight. It's to slowly shift from working for money to letting money work for you. When your invisible streams cover your basic expenses, that's when freedom begins. Number 8. Compounding beyond money, skills, and knowledge. Here's something most people miss. Compounding doesn't just apply to money. It applies to everything. Wealthy people use compounding in skills, knowledge, and relationships. If you read 10 pages of a finance book daily, that's 3,650 pages in a year, the equivalent of 15 books. Do that for 10 years, and you'll have the knowledge of a financial expert. Knowledge compounds faster than money because it multiplies opportunities. The wealthy often get invited into early IPO allocations, real estate deals, or hedge fund opportunities, not because they're lucky, but because years of learning and networking position them for it. So don't just compound money. Compound skills, compound knowledge, compound trust. Your salary may be small, but your time is priceless. Every year you delay is like burning future wealth. If two friends each invest $200 per month at 10% returns, but one starts at age 25 and the other waits until 35, the early starter ends with $725,000 more by age 65, even though they both invested the same amount monthly. So don't overthink it. Start with whatever you have today. $20, $50, $100. Plant the seed. Because the best time to start compounding was yesterday. The second best time is right now. If this opened your eyes, hit like, share it with a friend who thinks, I don't earn enough to invest, and subscribe, because we're building a smarter, wealthier future together. Now, if you want to know how smart employees turn every paycheck into equity, then watch this video. I'll see you there.